Namaste to all venerables. Present here today and Jerelphon to Dato' Thang Chu Hong, Chairman of BodhiPark, and Your Excellency, Thai Ambassador to Malaysia, Song Sak Sai Chua, and the many attendees and lay people. I would like to thank and commend the World Buddhist University, Buddhist Missionary Society, Malaysia, Yayasan Belia Buddhist Malaysia, and Young Buddhist Association of Malaysia for organizing this international seminar on teaching and practice of meditation in Southeast Asia. I am very happy to be here today to give you Dhamma talk on Dhammakaya meditation for world peace. This being the year of Buddha Jayanti, commemorates Lord Buddha's enlightenment. His word and teachings 2,600 years ago, his profound teaching and insight reverberates to all of us who are willing to learn and listen to this day. Lord Buddha, as an outstanding religious leader, playing simultaneously the role of active social reform, and much to say regarding the ideals to be achieved as counterpoint to dispute and conflict. These ideals are amity, unity, harmony, and peace. Unity, as Lord Buddha conceived, was for opposites to coexist without discrimination. Lord Buddha was emphatic in his Vaseta Sutta that human beings belong to unified species. Discrimination of humans on the ground of birth was rejected by him as unacceptable. If any grading was required, the only criterion was a person's actions or conduct. He demonstrated his profound commitment to the oneness of humanity by opening the doors of the Sangha on equal terms to each and every case and class of the contemporary Indian society. Lord Buddha advocated coexistence with the violent, the hateful, and the ignorant without being affected by their loyal qualities when he advocated. Happily we live indeed without hate, with the hateful. Happily we reside without hate, with people who are hateful. Happily we live in good health, with the sick. Happily we reside in health, with the sick. Happily we live without yearning, with the yearning. Happily we reside without yearning, with people who yearn. If coexistence, as illustrated above, implies coping with the opposite, unity for the Buddha was a positive state in which amity or friendship was extended without reservation to everyone. It is significant that the term that Buddha used most emphatically was metta, a nominal derivative of metta, of friend. But his definition went beyond mere friendship and extended to loving kindness. In a telling comparison of possible forms of merit, the Buddha stated that a moment of contemplation on metta exceeded the merit of offering alms to 100 of Buddhas. Metta had to be extended to all sentient beings whom the Lord Buddha encompassed to include down to the smallest atom, entity seen or unseen, living near or far, born or waiting to be reborn. The definition excluded no one. Metta is one of 4 factors of Brahmavihara, the sublime states of imponderables is further reinforced by their other factors. Metta or loving kindness in its actual dimension is karuna, compassion or pity, which enables one to react and respond to the pain and the suffering of another. Mudita, sympathetic joy, felicitation or appreciation, overcomes envy, jealousy, and hostility, and rejoices over another's good fortune. The 4th sublime state is upekkha, signifying both equanimity and equality, thus removing obvious obstacles of either disposition or perception to unity and harmony. So, according to Lord Buddha, society as a whole, as well as individuals, has to have metta, karuna, mudita, and upekkha as a platform for any mutual understanding to end divisiveness. Lord Buddha also upheld samadhi, which means unity and harmony, as the cohesive bonding of the members of a group. In this admonition, he underscored the importance of meeting in unity and harmony, discussing in unity and harmony, and dispersing in unity and harmony. Amity, unity and harmony together ensure peace and security. The Buddha viewed peace as a state of non-violence and moral perfection. In tracing the causes of violence, crime, and moral degradation, he said that stealing, violence, murder, falsehood, evil speech, adultery, abusive, and frivolous talk, covetousness, ill will, false will, and perverted lust arose until finally filial and religious poverty occurs, and respect for leadership disappears. The process of such moral degradation would result in mutual enmity, hatred, animosity, and murderous thought arising in people. Thus, Lord Buddha spoke against violence with his overriding principle that the mind was the forerunners of every action, and the line of defense against it was attitudinal change, with the change taking place in the mind. And how did the Buddha teach for change to occur? Conquer anger with non-anger or love. Conquer evil by good. Conquer miscellaneous with generosity. Conquer falsehood by truth. A person of tolerance, non-hatred, non-violence was described by the Buddha as being wise, noble, and mature. Speak the truth. Do not yield no anger, and do not injury to anyone. By these 3 paths, one will attain the celestial world and will not grieve anymore. Among what are listed as teachings of all Buddhas are forbearance with patience as the highest of the spiritual effort, and refraining from abuse and oppression of others. Hence, those in conflict or dispute must have tolerance, and not have hatred and violence in their hearts and minds. Only with this mindfulness can there be amity, unity, and harmony, forming the basis for samadhi. We must also understand that as the mind is the precursor of all actions, making the mind pure was the Buddha's remedy. We should keep in mind the key to Lord Buddha's teaching that avoid all evil, do good, and keep the mind pure. And how do we do this? Only through meditation can purifying of mind occur, and only through our own personal development can world peace and harmony result. Throughout the age, people have come to realize, just as Lord Buddha taught 2,600 years ago, that only through personal change can amity, unity, harmony, and peace occur in this world we share. The Lord Buddha's admonition was taken up by another wise man by the name of Mahatma Gandhi, who said, "Be the change you want to see in the world." And Edmund Burke said that the only thing necessary for the triumph of evil is that good men do nothing. Thus we all should endeavor to become good men or women to ensure that peace and harmony is established in our world. Personal development for world peace. Why is personal development important? We often hear words like national development, social development, economic development, or even global development. But it is personal development which underlines all of these. This is highlighted in the environmental slogan, think globally, act locally. It is the sum total of many individual decisions and behaviors which are reflected in social, natural, and eventually global development. Meditation for happiness. Personal development is the individual improving his or her own behavior and mental process through careful control of actions, words, thoughts, and feelings. This answer may surprise some listeners. Many might think of personal development as advancement in their career, or earning more money, or learning a new skill. But most would agree that ultimately what they seek is happiness. In fact, happiness is inside. It is not out there in the big house or new car. In brief, Lord Buddha's enlightened wisdom teaches, do good, get good, do evil, get evil. Thus, we can maximize happiness and minimize suffering by improving our own conduct. Fostering personal development through 3 trainings. We pursue proper personal advancement by conforming to the essence of Lord Buddha's Dhamma practice, which is summed up in his 3 core exhortations: avoid evil, do good, and purify the mind. Lord Buddha details procedures for avoiding evil and doing good, and also provides some guidelines for purifying the mind in both the Eightfold Path and the 5 precepts, as well as meditation. From now on, I would like to focus on the 3 trainings detailed in the Noble Eightfold Path. The first training is training in morality, meaning sila, moral behavior. The second training is training in mentality, meaning samadhi or concentration meditation. And the third training is training in higher wisdom, meaning vipassana or insight meditation, to develop the right wisdom. These three trainings summarize the Noble Eightfold Path. Training in morality or sila. Sila or moral behavior constitutes the necessary foundation for progress in meditation. All religions teach us to avoid evil and do good, but Lord Buddha added, and purify the own mind. A purified mind sustains avoiding evil actions and doing good. But more importantly, purifying the mind is the pathway to higher levels of consciousness, transcendence, and enlightenment. Thus, it not only supports social harmony, but also leads to personal mental development. The crux of sila, or moral behavior, is following the 5 precepts for lay people. These are not commandments, but training based on Lord Buddha's enlightened insight into the natural laws governing rebirth. They provide the key to avoiding rebirth in hell. The first is to avoid killing living things, not just human beings, but all creatures. The second is to avoid stealing, cheating, and corruption. The third precept is to avoid sexual misconduct, such as adultery. Fourth is to avoid false, divisive, and indecent speech, including not only lying, but also backbiting, coarse language, and gossip. Finally, the fifth precept is to avoid intoxicants, including both alcohol and drugs. Training in mentality or concentration meditation. Concentration meditation or samadhi combines developing inner peace and concentration together. For most new meditators in today's hectic world, the immediate objective is to cope with stress and develop personal serenity. Concentration meditation provides this immediately, but the Buddhist objective is higher. It is raising consciousness to more refined planes through purifying the mind. Direct benefits that can be anticipated include improved mental and physical health and enhanced concentration. The meditator develops distancing from the passions, cravings, and delusional attachment, which spin us around in circles. This results in a more peacefully happy life, and it directly fosters harmony in the family, the society, and the world. Training in right wisdom or vipassana meditation. The training in right wisdom aims at developing the insight to see clearly and compare objectively the true nature of conditioned phenomena, such as the 5 aggregates, with the ultimate reality of the unconditioned phenomena of nirvana or nirodha dhatu. This is vipassana insight meditation. It can be based, achieved when the mind has already been trained to become pure and firmly concentrate through concentration meditation. Preliminary insight meditation or anupassana. There are 2 levels of insight or vipassana meditation. The first level is called preliminary insight meditation or anupassana. It is clear comprehension of the 3 universal characteristics of all compound phenomena, that they are impermanent, suffering, and unself, that is, empty and meaningless. These characteristics must be understood in comprehension with the opposite characteristics of non-compound phenomena, which are eternal, supreme happiness, and ultimate reality. This is the first level of vipassana, insight meditation. This is what we study today, we will study today. Insight meditation or vipassana. The second level of insight or vipassana meditation is detailed contemplation of the Four Noble Truths in three transcendent mental states. Satyaya, or knowledge of the Four Noble Truths as they are. Gitaya, or knowledge of functions with regard to respective Four Noble Truths. And Gataya, or knowledge of what has been done regarding with the respective Four Noble Truths. In Satyaya, the meditator becomes able to see clearly and really know objectively suffering, the arise of suffering, the cessation of suffering, and the path leading to the cessation of suffering. In Gitayana, he comes to know clearly what he is supposed to do with respect to each of the Four Noble Truths. First, suffering or dukkha should be gotten rid of. Second, the cause of suffering, samudaya, should be abandoned or relinquished. Third, the cessation of suffering or nirodha should be clearly realized or penetrated. Fourth, path, magga, should be entered upon, practiced, and developed. Finally, in Gatayana, the meditator sees clearly the progress that he has already achieved. This is Kotrapujana, or noble state vision. From there, if the meditator can cut at least the first three fetters, which are false self-concept, doubt, and reliance on ineffective rituals, he can immediately experience the non-compound nature of Nibbana. Let me now focus and conclude this discourse by touching upon Vijayadhammakaya. Vijayadhammakaya does not require blind faith. You do not have to believe in Buddhism to benefit from it. It is a method for training the mind to become concentrated and keenly aware, focused inward at the center of the body. With practice, you will encounter new experience for yourself and will develop confidence. In 1916, or BE 2459, หลวงพ่อสดจันทสโร or เจ้าคุณพระมงคลเทพมุนี rediscovered the Vijayadhammakaya approach to meditation, which had been lost sometime during the first 500 years following the passing away of Lord Buddha. The techniques lead to meditators directly along the path to enlightenment and emancipation by combining concentration or samatha and insight vipassana meditation techniques. It is thus extremely focused and effective Vijayadhammakaya practice has become popular and widespread throughout Thailand and worldwide. Meditation begins with turning the powers of observation and awareness inward. We are accustomed to perceive the outside world, but introspection requires special effort, deep insight. We have prided ourselves on logic while remaining largely unaware of inner bias. Traditional scientific objective require isolation from the object observed. Since quantum mechanics was introduced, science has recognized that we are part of the world we perceive, and what we see depends on how we look at it. Meditation is like polishing a lens to enable us to see more clearly. Skill in meditation develops the ability to perceive experience directly without the distortions implicit in conceptualization. Many seekers turn to meditation because of this fact, of this satisfaction with life. This is the universally experienced sadness, suffering, tension, or dukkha, on which Lord Buddha based the Four Noble Truths. But this motivation to ease tensions or cope with anxieties is only the starting point. Many meditation techniques will provide relief on these worldly levels. But the beauty of Vijayadhamaka is that it leads directly upward from this plane to more and more refined, purer and purer levels of awareness. The effectiveness of Vijayadhamaka approach derives from focusing attention at the center of the body and combining three meditation techniques simultaneously. Meditators often debate the efficacy of concentration or samatha versus insight vipassana. Vijayadhamaka employs elements of both. Higher and higher levels of concentration enable personal insight to progress from a more worldly view to right understanding, and ultimately to supramundane right wisdom. Now, let us consider the principles underlying the Vijayadhamaka approach to samatha vipassana meditation. Some may think that the approach is new and is not the scriptures or is not Lord Buddha's teachings. In fact, this method is exactly the teaching of Lord Buddha. The final goal of meditation is to reach Nibbana by removing all ignorance and passion, and by developing right wisdom regarding the path of attainment. All this is lucidly possible when you reach Dhammakaya. Dhammakaya, which is really Lord Buddha. Lord Buddha said that Vasetha and Bharatava. The word Dhammakaya, Brahmakaya, Dhamma Buddha, Brahma Buddha are my names, the Tathagata. This means Dhammakaya, not the five aggregates of Prince Siddhartha, but is Lord Buddha. Both Lord Buddha and the other perfect ones, Arahant, spoke of Dhammakaya. They describe enlightenment or attainment of Nibbana through the arising of Dhammakaya. Dhammakaya is really pure non-compound phenomena of Noble One's virtues. At the highest level, it is Dhammakaya of the perfect one. The Vijayadhamaka approach includes aspects of both samatha and vipassana, which help develop threefold or eightfold transcendental knowledge, namely vichara, including remembrance of past life, which enable the practitioner to learn and to see the natural law of karma, and knowledge of how to destroy mental intoxicants. It is not a new doctrine. Dhammakaya is mentioned in the scriptures, and the method follows exactly Lord Buddha's teachings. These meditation techniques leads directly to Nibbana. Dhammakaya is the purest non-compound phenomena, the collection of the noble or the perfect one's virtue. Thus, Dhammakaya is Nibbana and is Lord Buddha. The approach is especially effective because the meditator who has reached Dhammakaya can see and experience both compound and non-compound nature. With practice, he or she can cut the fetter and become a noble disciple. By cutting the first three fetters, one becomes a stream enterer or soda. After continuing to cut all fetters, one becomes a Dhammakaya Arahant. Each of us has role to play in our world, achieve a lasting peace and harmony. And it all begins with ourselves and then spreads outward to those near us, and then concentrically outwards to others around the world. Let us be diligent in our own personal development, thereby making ourselves free from suffering, attachments, and cravings. May you all receive Lord Buddha's blessing to have a happy life, free from animosity, free from hate, free from ill health, and may you all look forward to the teachings of Lord Buddha to find for yourself lasting peace and spring happiness.